What's cracking, people? It's your baby mama's favorite cousin, Cousin T-Taw. And today we have a wonderful conversation. Shout out to everybody who's already in the chat. Let's see, Kenneth Young, salute to you. Always great to have you. Shout out to, let's see, always great to have you. Give me 2 seconds. Shout out to Mr. Hoops, 8180. He says Ron Wills Ron Wills is legendary, has the most legendary intro of all time. Absolutely. Absolutely. Two masters. Yes, indeed. So basically, today we are going to be discussing something that really stood out to me in a consultation, in a few consultations that I've had over the past few months. And this is something that comes up often. And this has to do with when a man makes it beyond, just the getting to know you phase or the introductory greetings, and you may have gotten with her a few times. I call it mating or staining. If you have my book, The Seduction Scriptures, of course you have it. Why wouldn't you have it? But there's a point in the relationship that most men who believe that they're dating a woman that is really into him, really serious about what it is that he's looking for and that he desires. And today we're going to talk about that thing. And so, without further ado, I am going to bring up none other than the man, the myth, the legend, the General, Rom Wells. Rom, how you feeling?
Hey, I'm all right, man. How you doing?
I am excellent. I am excellent. You see, they've been waiting for your return, and everyone who has been anticipating. Here he is, the man, the myth, the legend. Shout out to let's see, is that O'Shea White? Yo Rom Wills and Cousin T, the Ghost. Let's definitely Ron Wills. We're myself. I'm trying to build up to that. That's a wonderful title that I know it does not come easy. So we appreciate that from you. In any case, salute to Luther. Says salute to the teachers. What's good to Andre? Says first time I've been on your channel. I heard of you from BGS. Salute. Salute to the master teacher BGS Itmore. And of course, Tristan Fitness. Salute to you. Salute to the masters. So, Rom, I was just making a quick introduction before we really dive into this subject matter, because it is certainly something that comes up often when I am coaching men who are seeking something that's real, seeking something that's valid, seeking something that's authentic with the type of woman that they really desire. And that thing that most men, if not all men, seek is purity from a woman. Now, somebody said my audio's a bit low. Let's see if we can crank it up. Um, Now, it's not that a man may necessarily be seeking purity from a virginal sense, okay? I'm talking about purity from the sense of a genuine connection.
Hmm.
He's built his world. He's followed our advice, right? He's
Hmm.
established himself at his profession or his vocation. He has a place to call home. He has a friend group. He participates in locally in his community. So he has his world
One in
built.
1,000 black business owners
One of the
created an
things
invisible
that one of the things that most men are looking for once they have that world built is to share that with someone. And once they meet a woman that's attractive, she's fine. In his eyes, she is a 7, 8, 9, or whatever. Usually between a 6 and a 8. Okay, let's be real. That sweet spot. they've been having conversations. They've been hanging out. They know that they are sexually compatible, right? Because they're following our advice and they're not waiting until it's too late to discover those things. She's she's adventurous. She's expressive. She enjoys his company. And now they're shifting into the phase where I call it the intermediate level of game. Okay, they're shifting into the relationship phase of that dynamic. Now they're starting to have these conversations about their past, conversations about their values, conversations about their aspirations, their fears, their concerns, and they're starting to share things with each other. And one of the things that often come up in consultations that I have with men who have been through this part of their relationship and have come out on the other side, and it doesn't fail. Men who are divorced, men who experience puppy dog love. I'm talking about young men, and men who are right in the middle. Men who are anxious about discovery. This one space within that relationship dynamic where everything's new, everything is bright, colors look amazing. And then he shares something intimate. He shares something that is so close to his heart. He shares something from his spirit. And she holds it, right? She holds this thing that he shared in her hand. And she says, I see you.
Mm.
Oh, shit. Oh,
Mm.
I see you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is the purity that we're discussing today.
Okay.
The purity of the moment when a man discovers his reflection in a woman.
Okay.
Now, and we'll get to a part of the conversation where what some women do with that vulnerability. But before we get to that, the topic of this discussion today is about how you can't pay for that.
Nah. Nah.
You see? And coming from the field general himself, Mr. Nice Guys in Place, okay? When we
Yeah.
talk about select men, and especially in your experience, how often are select men and those who are developing themselves on the journey to become select, how often do they experience that purity, that space of purity, in your opinion?
Well, in my opinion, they gonna experience it a bit more, way more. Yeah. You hear me good? No echoes, anything?
Oh, you good to go. You Gucci.
All right. All right. Yeah, they gonna experience it way more. In fact, a woman is really gonna have more pure love for them because if a man is non-select to her, he is he's gonna have to pay just to get her attention if she even wants it. See, that's the whole thing right there. So that's the thing. So, the woman, she wants that select man, but she don't want that non-select man unless she gonna use him, or if she's an acculturated prostitute, a him, as the honorable pimp guy will call them, acceptable hoes. But see, when she want that select man, she'll line up for him. She wants that pure. She got that pure attraction for him if he's truly select. And he got to have something. If it at the most select, now there's a level of select I talk about. I call the mass man. Now he got a little bit of money and some, but it's kind of like that drug thing. The guys at the top, they gonna have that like pure drug, that pure attraction. The mass man, he get that cut drug. They got a little bit in it and stuff. So that's important. That's important. So, if like you paying for it, or she put you through all this stuff, she don't have that pure attraction. She using you. Cause as we don't have to say, women use a lot of guys out here. Cause you get some Bammers, and I call them Bammers, thinking women ain't running some game. But as the Honorable Pimp God would tell you, or any pimp, women got that game. But see, if they hook up with a guy just for free, he's at that top. He know he don't have to do anything. She gonna bring him a sandwich. Excuse me, sandwich.
Absolutely, absolutely. And one of the things that I want to make clear in this particular conversation, there is an interesting dynamic that select men, um, you refer to them as Mr. Good Bars. I refer to them as alpha show pieces. But also, I say that guys in these categories are exotic show pieces as well. But also ugly, sexy players. I've done
Yeah, yeah.
presentations about those types of men.
Well, let me
Go
jump
ahead.
in real quick. They ain't necessarily like a good bar. He don't have to be an ASP. That's just one type. He could be a roughneck or something. He could be just a face man. He could be somebody who could dress well. He can be that homely guy who is able to really got the charisma of 10 men. He could really do something with that woman. See, that's the whole thing. So you don't have to. The ASP is just one of them. Just to be clear, or he could be exotic, he could be whatever, but he's bringing women that pleasure. He's bringing that woman that drug called pleasure. Instead of tapping her arms, she tapping her thighs. Somebody in the yeah, right there. He knows it. Pusher man, yeah, got her
Absolutely.
going crazy. In fact, when I first like early when I first started my channel, I used to open to that Pusher Man, because I knew the young lady who sang that song. She did it as a poem, and she was fine too. But she was talking about this man who was tearing her up. Then she finished the song saying, "What would you say your name is?"
But you bring up a very good point. I'm laying out the levels of attractiveness that a man can present in terms of the attraction that he receives from women. And you make a very good point in terms of that pureness is beyond the attractiveness of the person. Very good point. And that's something that should not be lost on the audience. That pureness that we're discussing in this talk is beyond the attractiveness of the man per se. That
Mhm.
pureness happens when you've created a space of open dialogue, open communication. When you get to the point where you're engaging with this woman that of course you're attracted to, of course she's attracted to you, of course you discover that you're compatible in the bedroom, right? And I said that right, Rom, bedroom instead of bedroom.
Yes, you got to say it properly. Bedroom. Yes.
Bedroom. You're compatible in those areas, and now you're progressing the conversation into more deeper, more meaningful things. You don't necessarily have to be an ASP to enter that space, or a Mr. Goodbar, as Rom just mentioned. You have to be the type of man who is an effective communicator. And all men can become effective communicators in terms of how they uh, describe who they are to the woman that they're in a dynamic with. Whether or not you're monogamous, whether or not you are poly, especially if you have a roster, especially if you have a roster, your communication has to be on point. If you want to receive the level of pureness from that woman, basically, one of the criterion for receiving that pureness is cooperation. She's
Mhm.
cooperating with you. Okay. So we just want to put that out there. You don't necessarily have to be an ASP or even a Mr. Goodbar in order to receive the type of cooperation that leads to that pureness, that space of pureness that most men, I would say the vast majority of men desire. They actually, we actually want. I really enjoy that pureness. Now, I'm gonna, you know, progress the conversation forward in just a little bit. But just to touch on another aspect of the pureness, you don't necessarily have to be in a committed relationship with the a particular woman, a specific woman, in order to appreciate the pureness that a woman has available. You have to understand what that is and what to look for and how to bring that out of a woman. Okay. On my Patreon. And also, this was a presentation that I did for Rom a while ago in terms of bringing pleasure out of a woman. You can not only bring pleasure out of a woman, but you can bring that pureness out of a woman. You can
Mm.
bring almost anything that you know and that you understand is of value to your operation out of a woman. First, you have to look for those qualities and the type of woman that you're attracted to. Then, over the course of conversation, you start to notice and observe and take note when those values present themselves. And then, of course, when the time is right, you capitalize on that. And like I always say, women love players because a player will always put everyone involved in the best position to win.
Yes, yes. Yeah,
So
definitely.
shout out to, let's see, Rayshard G. Smith. Salute to you for 5. Says T and Ron, y'all are life changers. Quick body game. Let's see. Women love the build of a retired running back. How did you fellas first recognize the powers of let's see, what does it say? Oh, body game.
Well, I recognized it back in the early like 1990s. I wasn't because I had all the elements of game, but my body was so. Like I could dress well, never had approach anxiety. But there was still some women that would put me in the friend zone. Or I allowed myself to be put in the friend zone, but that's another thing, right? But then I had to get my body right for a job. I can't really tell you what the job was. I'll just say it was working with the government. And women who had put me in a friend zone, all of a sudden they were doing nasty stuff to me. So I was like, oh, snap. I wish I had known this sooner. Because I was still getting some beforehand, but I had to work a little bit harder. So that's when I really recognized body game. That's when I really recognized it. It was kind of accident. It wasn't even like doing it for women. It was like just the what I was getting, what I was getting from women by accident. So I was like, oh, wait a minute. I just changed my body. All of a sudden, this woman talking about, oh, let's be friends and stuff is, well, licking me all over and stuff, on her knees, taking her time and stuff, putting that pillow under her like chin and stuff. I was like, oh, wait a minute. Hold up. I wish I had known this sooner. Because, like I said, I had everything else. So that's when I first really recognized body game. That's when I first recognized. I said, "Well, shit, that's all I had to do." And I ain't had money, anything. Couldn't take them out. Shoot, this was like a poor period in my life. So it was like, oh, wait a minute. This all I had to have was that nice body. And plus, I knew some other dudes. Shoot, they already knew it. So there you go.
No, absolutely. And of course, once again, salute to you, Rashad. Of course, everybody coming in, hit that like button, appreciate it. We appreciate that. Of course, when we're talking about getting to that space of purity with a woman, men who have self awareness recognize that they can use the talents, the values, and the elements that they already have. Whatever,
Hmm.
whatever the elements that you're naturally gifted with, whether it's height, whether it's athleticism that leads to a better body or a more
Hmm.
athletic or fit body, whatever your definition of that is, you use those elements in order to develop your most effective presentation to the type of women that you desire to acquire an engagement with, an exchange of intimacy, an exchange of experiences with. That, as a baseline, opens the woman up to that space of purity. Now, let's keep in mind, though, coming from me, from a former exotic entertainer, women gladly opened up more than that space of purity, but they opened up a lot of things. But when outside of those spaces, women were eager to try to understand who I am, to try to cut through the layers so that they can get to that space of purity. And when and I'm going to be honest, that's something that I guard. That's something that
Mm,
from those experiences I learned to guard.
mm,
Because let's be clear, gentlemen, that space of purity is not something to be taken lightly. It's priceless. It's something that is the true essence of who you are inside you. And
mm,
so when a woman, when you're engaging with a woman and you are able to uh, express that space, and then she recognizes that, and then she acknowledges it by saying, I see you. And then
mm,
on the other side of that, of being seen, she reflects that back to you by opening up her space. That's where you get that sweet spot of what is known as purity.
mm.
Now, there are so many dynamics at play with regards to men who believe that they can pay for purity, and women are intelligent enough. Women are savvy enough. Women are intuitive enough to sense that. They know what that space is. You know why? Because women talk all the time.
Yeah, they
Okay.
do.
Big surprise. All right, we can shut it down
Yeah.
now. It's like women, and I've shared this before, the average woman uses 20,000 words a day, whereas the
Hmm.
average man uses only 5 to 7,000 words a day. Absolutely
Man, I,
phenomenal.
I I was giving it like, man, I was giving it like 10,000. You say 5 to 7,000?
The average man.
Man, yeah, because I know women, shoot, they be talking about sex, everything. Yeah, don't satisfy that woman, man. That's why, shoot, all her girlfriends, they give you that dirty look, but you satisfy her and they be coming up trying to talk to you and stuff. Bring that cherry pie. You know I love some cherry pie. Be all friendly, be like, "Hey, how you doing?" Smiling your way and stuff. And they don't care. They be ruthless too, but that might be another show.
No, absolutely. So one of the reasons, like I said, that a woman can uh well, she first of all can smell a trick a mile away, or a man
Mhm.
who's looking to pay for purity, pay for attention, pay for her presence. Part of her game is to sell the illusion of
Mhm.
purity.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, the selling of the illusion of purity. In certain spaces, it's called the GFE, or the girlfriend experience. The
Mhm.
experience, but
Yeah.
not the reality. And
Yeah.
and, and so, did you want to speak on that?
No, I'm just agreeing with you because that's what a lot of dudes be getting caught up with. They think they getting a woman, and you get a lot of guys, they'll fight you. You try to tell them not to lead with their wallets, but they lead with their wallets. But that woman, shoot, she'll play that experience. Shoot. Even shoot, even they'll even suck your dick in such a way that you think you getting some, but they really not. They really ain't really doing it. You might get a lot of spit on your shit, but they ain't really sucking your dick. Like, look, fellas, let me tell you now. You don't mind if I get a little dirty on here, do you, cousin T Talk?
Hit that with it.
Yeah, but dude, when you know a woman, when that shit feel like a vacuum cleaner on your dick, that's some real shit. But you get a lot of spit down there, they just giving it to you. Women, they some actresses and stuff. But you see a lot of guys thinking they really getting something with that money. Act like you don't get that money one day and see what happens. See if that woman change up. That's why a lot of dudes get played because they'll get that dude who's giving the money and then go cheat with the dude who ain't giving her shit. You know, the dude who giving the money, he might have a nice house, got that king size bed, got that nice car, but she cheating with the guy with the air mattress. Ask me how I know.
Right, because he's delivering that pure ecstasy to her. Now, Ron, what do you think about this? Mr. Hoops says, in his opinion, semen retention helps with developing the purity tremendously.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. See, I have a different view of what semen retention is. See, what it is a lot of people consider semen retention. I would just call it no fap. They just not releasing anything. Real semen retention in the view that I have is really the old school view, advanced sexuality view is you can go in a woman raw and don't release that seed. Like if you into tantra or something like that, shoot, a woman got to earn your seed. So you can have sex with that woman and you ain't gonna bust with it. There's some women I dealt with. I ain't use a condom, but they were good with it. Like one in particular, she was good with it. She knew I could hold my seed. See, that's semen retention to me.
There you go.
So that's different. I mean, I'm because what I would call that is just no fapping, just holding it. And I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not sure from my point of view, it don't necessarily attract the women because you got some virgins out there and guys ain't getting none. They ain't releasing shit. They practicing semen retention regardless.
Yeah, and I
So
think
I'm not really big on what they call in semen retention. My semen retention is you probably have about 5 women, 6 women. You still having sex with them. You just not giving them the seed. And trust me, it's some good practice to practice holding on, going into a woman raw and not bussing. That's
right.
real semen retention to me.
Oh yeah, I've done that before. It's not easy,
No, it
but
ain't
like
easy. It's
like with
fun
any
practice though.
no, absolutely, because you want to get into that space where you're allowing your primal instincts to take over, and primally she trying to get your seed, and primally you're trying to shoot your seed. So
Yeah,
it's a mind over matter situation. So I appreciate that.
yeah.
Andre is saying, I'm a former street dude and talked to a lot of women in the sex industry. They put me on game, and they're honest too. Absolutely,
Yeah,
women
yeah.
in the sex industry, for the right type of guy, they're extremely honest. You won't
Well,
find. Go ahead.
let me say something about that. I've actually learned a lot and always hint that I'm giving some secrets from some sex workers. Now, a lot of dudes be asking about it. That's because I want you to figure it out. I want you to figure it out because some dudes had figured it out. They were like, that's it. I was like, yeah, that's it. But I always give the clues, always. Always just listen to me when I'm doing a car video, especially. I'm telling you exactly what these sex workers told me. And it makes it easy. It makes it easy to get these women. So, dude, shoot, if he hearing from these sex workers, they'll tell you, especially you cool with some sex workers, you ain't just a regular trick because every sex worker gonna be cool with somebody might be regulars as long as they want to be cool with somebody regular and you be cool with them they'll tell you everything. They will tell you everything. In fact, I would highly recommend if you can just be cool with us, just talk with them, just be cool with them, don't judge them. Yeah, they had about 1,000 dicks in them, but you just don't judge that shit, don't look down on them. They'll tell you whatever.
Right. And it takes time because they don't trust anybody.
Yeah, that,
They trust no one. All right. Shout out to None Unknown. Let me see. Let me see. Can you hear this, Rom?
oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh,
All right. He got the ASP Holy Ghost. That's the ASP Holy Ghost sound. Bear with us. We're working on the various effects with this, but that is that's the ASP Holy Ghost for a donation like that. The 50 spot, we appreciate that. None unknown. More of these live stream elders. We appreciate that. Absolutely. We hope to bring a lot more to everybody who is interested in getting this game. Salute to you again, Mr. Hoop. Thanks, Hoops. Thanks for the advanced knowledge. So let's see. Andre 420 Reform says, honestly, these days the average woman getting more action than the known sex workers. LOL.
man. I'm gonna be real, man. I had to respectfully disagree with you, man. These women are thirsty. Seriously,
Mhm.
these are you think they getting some work, but average looking women, even some very attractive women, they ain't getting it like they should. They want
Mhm.
it. They want it badly, but not the way they should. See, don't put that woman on a pedestal. You'd be surprised how many of these women ain't getting none. I mean, these regular women especially ain't getting none. I mean, that's why the sex industry, like sex toys and stuff, getting a lot of play. That's why what cousin T-Taw, what he used to do, those male exotic dances getting a lot of play. Those uh, gigolos. Trust me, because if these women were getting to play like they would, we wouldn't have that so-called male loneliness epidemic. That's
Yeah,
why I be jumping on these guys. I'm like, damn. I mean, I know some fine ass women. I be asking, I'll be like, shit, you ain't hanging out with nobody. You ain't doing anything. See, don't put these women on a pedestal. A lot of these women ain't getting none on a regular, or they sharing a man or something. A lot of them ain't getting it. They just a little bit quieter about it. All right.
oh yeah,
Yeah, don't be thinking they getting more than a sex worker. Nah, trust me. Trust
he,
me, they that just let's just get that because if we had that, these dudes wouldn't be like talking about some male loneliness epidemic or something like that. Yeah,
absolutely.
don't believe that. Don't put these women on a pedestal. And once you understand that, you can get all the pussy that you want to get. Just understand, sit back and think about that. Sit back and really think about that. And once you understand that, then you can get some. In fact, I'll put it
Absolutely.
like this. A woman, and I've said this before, a woman will fix up, go out. If she don't get anybody who's paying attention to her, try to holler at her, do something, she'll come home that day and probably call her therapist.
Mm,
These women don't be getting none. And once you understand that, you can always get pussy.
mhm. Yeah, most women they have multiple roses. All right, if you know what the rose is, the rose with extra batteries, or the plug, and a
Mhm.
good bottle of Chardonnay. So just to be real, because
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and, and just to piggyback off what Rom just broke down, a lot of women aren't a lot of pedestrian women. Let me be clear, civilians. That's what what we refer women who are not in that lifestyle. A lot of civilian women, they don't want to have terrible sex. So they're not
Mhm,
just going to sleep with any man unless they know that he's capable of delivering that thing we call satisfaction.
mhm.
And,
Yeah, they tapping their thighs, man. They tapping their thighs. See, that's the thing too, cause they got so much to worry about. So nah, they ain't nah, seriously. Shit, that's why they
absolutely.
lined up for those top men, the select men.
Well,
And
also
please
also
listen to what I'm saying, fellas. Listen to what I'm saying. Play this back. Listen closely. I'm giving y'all some game. If you once you understand how thirsty these women are, dude, you can always get some. All right. Go ahead,
Yes,
brother.
indeed. Yes, indeed. Shout out to Sir Tice. Glad that you can make it. He says, salute, gents. Glad he caught this live. Let's see what we got for you, Sir Tice. We appreciate
What's
that.
up,
Clap it
brother?
up for Sir Tice. Welcome in. We appreciate that. But yes, and beyond just looking for, you know, the typical select guy, women go for the roughnecks because they know that a man that's working with his hands, a man that is in the trenches, you know what I'm saying? Like a man, a blue collar guy, you know, that
Those
has to work with his
bangers.
body.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I call them bangers, and you call them roughnecks. I'm gonna tell you what though, one of those dudes, man, they got some game. You be thinking like, yeah, no, I know I talk body game, but I just say, look, whatever your best body is, because it's different. But those dudes who got like a little bit of gut and they be laughing and stuff, but they work with their hands, blue collar, that man, they be tearing up some shit. They be tearing up some shit. I'm
Absolutely.
telling y'all.
So never look down upon a blue collar guy. You know, he has a lot of secrets because he is also in the shadow world. All right.
Mhm.
So uh yeah, Sir Tice thought he thought we were talking about roses from Master Yeah. No, we talking about those electronic roses, those battery operated boyfriends. Shout out to William Trigoso. Shout out to you, man. Salute to you in Miami. Cousin T, question from what you taught me, being present, and I've been working on it. Let's see, July 2026. When a man chooses his path and is on his journey, like myself, really cut women off this past month. Good. Only if it has served you. It's always good to perform self care, and when you cut women out of the equation, obviously you have more resources. The number one resource being time. You have more time to dedicate to your mastery. You have more time to obviously get into the gym, get back into your practices that make you better, practicing on your presentation, practicing on curating the elements within your lifestyle, getting back to centering yourself. Meditation is obviously a wonderful thing. Getting back into those books. Of course, I know you have your copy of the seduction scriptures. Everybody in attendance has their copy of the seduction scriptures, right? Get back into that. Get back into Nice Guys and Players. Obviously, Ram. I just have to say there are a lot of guys in this generation who are into ARC, Alan Rajan Curry, rest in power, and the lessons that he taught. So a lot of the wonderful wisdom that he left us is still present, it's still valid, and it's still being used in the process of masculine mastery. So that's a wonderful thing, obviously. Um, shout out to Joe Blast. What's up? Salute to you. Let's see. All right, salute FBA. Let's see. And this is that's right, Tristan Fitness. This is definitely a Patreon level game, so soak it up. Obviously, watch the replay. We try to keep it moving and drop as many jewels and gems as we can. We do this on this side so that those who are not familiar with the Patreon side can have something to look forward to. And of course, this is all laying out more bricks in the wall, so to speak, more pavement for the road, ultimately facilitating your path of masculine mastery. We're going to hit this, and then we're going to get back to the conversation on purity. But salute to known, unknown. Once again, salute to you. Absolutely. Says question. For the young men, late 20s, early 30s, who work a lot, should they focus on a relationship, practicing game, etc.? I work 100 hours a week. Robin, you want to take that first?
You working, but with these thirsty ass women out here, it ain't bad to have that woman who can still provide you sex. You might have to give her a little bit of time, just a little bit. Somebody you could like that good fuck friend or something. Because trust me, I've had plenty of friends with benefits and still doing my thing otherwise. See, you still want to get that energy from her, and if you get with the right woman, you can be energized. You can go ahead and work. See, there ain't nothing wrong with that. Now, being in a regular relationship, yeah, women want all that time, but trust me, and I'm giving y'all some game. These women so thirsty out here. You could probably find that one that you could like just deal with. Just give her a few hours every Saturday. You still working and everything, but still give her a few hours and just be honest with her. Just say, hey, this is what it is. She know you working and everything. So, go ahead and do your thing.
So 100 hours a week. You gotta let us know what trade or career that is. Like you said 132 hours last week. Are you a firefighter or are you in tech? Let us know what it is that you've dedicated so much of your life to. Yes, absolutely, Tristan Fitness. Shout out to the what did they say? Incomparable ARC. Shout out to him. His legacy continues forward, and that's all we can hope to leave. Once we transition. So, getting back into the conversation regarding purity, we've already covered what that is. That's that space that a man hopefully reserves for the type of woman that he's promoted and that he has vetted and that he has allowed the privilege of entering into his personal and private space with. That purity being her actually becoming that mirror to his true essence and reflecting back who he truly is. And not only that, but sharing who she is internally. That space of purity is actually rare to be shared nowadays. Not only because of the state of the mating, dating, and relating scene, but also because a lot of relationships have become transactional, as they say. We talk about the exchange of intimacy, the exchange of orgasms, the exchange of experiences, the exchange of your presence. That is the realness of man gets woman. That's the realness of the mating and dating and relating space. A lot of people refer to that landscape as transactional now because they don't have the language, they don't have the information, they don't have the mentorship, they don't have the game and the understanding of self to not compare their lives to capital, to not compare the experiences that they have, the exchanges, the dynamics, the interactions, the conversations, the relationships that they have, to not compare that with markets, financial markets. You see, and that's why we say you cannot pay, you cannot
Mm,
purchase purity
mm-mm.
because you will not get it. Now,
Yeah. No.
go ahead, Ron.
No, I'm just agreeing with you. Go ahead, bro.
And so um Ron, we're gonna okay, yeah, I figured it was something that had to do with the EMS. Salutes you. We appreciate your service.
Thank you for
Um
your service, man.
Now, Ron, I will say, and of course we don't disclose who our clients are, who our coaching clients are, but I've said before quite a few times that I have and I still do coach men who identify as passport
Hmm.
bros, and I know you have as well.
Yeah, I get a few. Most of my guys are either like select men who want to know how to really manage what they got going on, or guys who just trying to they at the beginning, one or the other. I haven't really got any passport bros.
Okay.
So that's more you than me, man.
Well, I mean, so and I'll say this, what they tend to look for is because, like I said, I'm a seduction coach. I specialize in presentation. I specialize in how your overall look is. We go over dating app profiles, those pictures, curating those things. Also, the fundamentals of the introduction, how to, where you're placing yourself, especially if you're in a foreign country. Do you know the language? What are the popular, what's the popular culture like? Obviously pop culture in Brazil is very different than a pop culture in Colombia. It's very different than a pop culture
Yeah.
in Kenya, very different than a pop culture in the UK. And so when we're having these coaching sessions, I'm asking the client to not only be an observer, but be a
Mhm.
researcher,
Mhm.
because in those TV shows, in those movies, in the music, they're celebrities. They're going to be wearing the outfits that the women find appealing.
Mhm.
They're going to be, the style of their hair, the way that they present. What cafes do they? What cafes are popular? Internet cafes, corporate spaces, college spaces. There's so many factors that we go into in terms of putting together an ideal circumstance so that the introduction can be made and you can go from hello to the pillow. Now,
Mhm.
that's an ideal scenario. Everything that I just mentioned is ideal when it
Yeah.
comes to the passport bro experience. Okay.
Mhm.
And yes, a lot of them are looking for love. They're looking for the potential to find a mate that's, compatible, that quote unquote has traditional values. That's relative, whatever that means. Especially when you're talking about a different country. That's another conversation for another day. But what I want to keep in mind, and what I want to remind the audience of, is that no matter where you are, no matter where you go, you still cannot purchase purity.
No, no. Let me get into that because I don't really go into the passport bros, but if you gonna go overseas, they got some game. They trust me. If you lean with your wallet, they'll take it. In fact, you got some women overseas, and I've known this way before we were talking. Anybody was talking about passport bros. You got some women over there. They'll play that man. They'll tell him what he want to hear, do whatever. But then they dealing with that handsome roach guy. And when I mean handsome roach guy, that's that guy over there who's really like their pimp. You'll
Mm,
give them money, but then they'll give him back the money and fuck him for free. They just being real quiet about it. In fact, you might be talking with them on the phone or something, or then they sitting back, got the guy in the background talking about some shh, doing whatever.
yes.
You can't trust it. See, it's not pure anytime you bring out money. I don't care what the situation is. Don't think you're going to get that pure love, that pure attraction anytime you bring in money. Because, see, women, if they want you, they just want to be around you. They just want to be you. It could be whatever. You don't have to take them out. You don't have to have like this fancy car, this fancy degrees, a place to live. Shoot, cause I mean, I've known plenty of women. I know a woman, she was hanging out in abandoned homes with this one dude she had some pure love for.
Mm,
And that's how they do. Anytime you break out your wallet, take it for what it is, an acceptable hoe. Shout out the pimp, honorable pimp God, okay?
absolutely.
No matter what, no matter what. No matter what. I don't care where you go in the world. I don't care. It ain't nothing wrong with traveling. If you pay for the pussy, you pay for the pussy. But don't think you're gonna find like that, like pure love from 'em. They're gonna tell you whatever you want to hear. In fact, they studying you. Trust me, those women overseas in different countries, shoot, they got some serious game. They got some game. We could probably bring them more in here. Just say, hey, okay, look, y'all don't have to show your face. Y'all tell us what y'all be doing, and they be running it on you. They be running it on you because shoot, because I was seeing women from overseas, shoot, being in the DC area, they just come here. I ain't even had to go overseas, and they were telling guys how they were running game, or telling guys like me how they were running game. Because I was looking at them like, you can't run game. But see, that was just me. I was that type of dude going to strip club or something. The women tell me their real name, be ready to do something. But maybe that's another conversation.
No, absolutely. And to continue and build on what you just mentioned, women in other cultures, in other regions, especially if they're not in, you know, a space that is like a part of the G7, or that's a part of, you know, the sort of, I don't want to say first world, but it in certain regions. Let's just say not in a popular region of the world that has a lot of tourism, that has a lot of industry, that has, you know, a lot of development. The alternative is to use what you got to get what you want. Okay,
Mhm.
and let's be honest about, again, primal human nature. What do most people want? They
Mhm.
want the basics. Okay, they want a roof over their head. They want food for their family. You know, they want an opportunity to build a better life, not only for themselves but for their families. And that those are just basic necessities and desires for people. So when we talk about pureness, that is a necessity as well, and it's a necessity that's not spoken about in a lot of conversations. In a lot of conversations, people use words, like I said, like the girlfriend experience, like a true connection. People use love. People use, compatibility. People use, shared values and things of that nature. But when we talk about that purity,
Mhm.
here's another aspect of that
Okay.
purity. And again, and again, when I have these conversations with different coaching clients, I always let them know I will reference some elements here that we work on and that we work through and that we get better at. But of course, I'm not going to give any details of the circumstances surrounding it. But let's be clear: the other side of the purity, once you get into that space, again, let me reiterate what the purity is as everybody gets to likes up. The purity is you, the man, creating a space in which you have a woman that you are attracted to. You
Mhm.
have a meaningful relationship with that person,
Mhm. Yes.
and you're able to share who you are, who you truly are with that woman. And she becomes a mirror to you. So you not only get to uh, appreciate yourself and enjoy yourself through that relationship, but she also sees you and she
Mhm.
reflects you back to you. That's that
Mhm.
purity that we're referring to today. Now, the
Mhm.
other side of that is this: that purity, that special space that you hold for each other, that she holds for you, can be taken away.
Mm.
It can
Yeah.
be taken away, and it has been taken away for people that I've known, people that I coach, and I have to be honest with them because they want it back. And this is another reason why we say you can't go back to your ex.
Mm.
You, and I say it in my book because a lot of people want to know, how do I seduce my ex? How can I, that is a question. I have that question in my book. I've had it so many times. Uh, Guys want to know, how do I seduce my ex? What is it that? What are the right words to say? What presentation can I do? Can I buy her a ring? Can I buy her a car? Can I, whatever? And I always say, once that purity, that space of purity is gone, meaning something happened. Okay. You thought you were monogamous, but you were not. Okay. You stepped out, or situations changed, or she saw something in you that that changed her view of you. And now she is guarded. Now she doesn't trust you.
Yeah.
Now she doesn't believe in you. And I'm being very thoughtful and careful with this, but basically, she saw your inner bitch come out. Okay. let's be honest. When she removes that purity, you cannot get it back from her.
Yeah, she sees you just in a different way, man. Dude, hold up. Let me just say something real quick. You just went deep, deep. Yeah, because once women see you a different way, once that purity goes away, man, you might as well just keep walking, man. You trying to talk about what can I do to seduce her? What can I do to get her back? Man, probably nothing. Just keep on going and stuff. Shoot, once a woman get to that point, you might as well just learn from it, and then so you don't do it again. It's very hard to get it back. Ain't impossible, but let's just say, especially the purity. Now, transactional, maybe, but that's something different. But when you talking about that purity where she really see you, but she feel betrayed, oh,
That's it.
she walk away, you man.
And that's when you get the resentment. That's when you get the bickering. That's when you get the destructive chaos. Oh, so you didn't think a seducer had these levels, okay? These levels of game in terms of relationships. Gentlemen, I have been married. I have been married twice, actually. Okay. So I understand these levels of relationship. I understand what comes before, why the foundation has to be sound, why the period of time of getting to know a woman has to be correct. You have to come the correct way. Why communication is essential. But also, and most importantly, why you must love yourself, why you must know who you are before even considering entering into a situation like that, or a dynamic with a woman, with multiple women, in presenting the vulnerability of your space of purity. Okay. So on the other side, like I said, you have to keep in mind, and this is a part of masculine mastery. This is an essential part of mastery. Once you have experienced the loss of that purity, let me say this again, okay? We're going to take it real slow right now. Once you have experienced the loss of that purity, it's just like experiencing a broken mirror.
Yeah.
You can try to put those shards back together, but they will never fit accordingly.
Yeah.
And it will always show you a distorted image of yourself.
Yeah. And yeah, brother Triz said, yeah, deep. Tristan Fitness. Yeah, deep. That is deep. I mean, you took it to another level, man. This is real game. I need to bless cousin T-Tall for what he just gave you. I need to bless him.
Absolutely. We appreciate you showing the love. We absolutely appreciate that. And I want to say this, shout out to Andre, 420 Reform. He said, I went back to my ex of 10 years for another year and left the woman I left her for and would never recommend that for another man.
It was tough. Is I mean, I'm gonna tell you what is deep. I mean, me and my co-parent, I mean, we broke up, and it's a different energy now, but it's a tough energy. It's a tough energy to really deal with that type of person. You know, it really is because you don't have that same level of purity and something would change. The only way it could possibly work, in my view, is if y'all both had some serious growth. Some serious growth. I mean, deep down, y'all look back at it as like, hold up, I wasn't ready. I mean, yeah, let's put it like this. Forget going back the same way. I put it that's the only
Right.
way y'all could probably make something work
Right.
is if y'all both had some serious growth. I mean, get in the spirit, whatever way you worship Supreme Being, you know, God, Allah, the Great Pumpkin, Big Ram, whatever way you do that, you got to go deep. You got to look at yourself. Like if you even thinking about doing it, if you with that woman, it was pure, but somehow it was broken. First and foremost, you got to look at yourself, but then she got to look at herself too. She got to look at herself too. That's the only possibility. But don't think it's going to be the same way it was at first. Get that up. Just don't even think about that. Don't think, oh yeah, we're going to get back to what it was. Nah, it's something new if y'all even think about getting back together. Like I said, my co-parent, she real cool with me, but she's gone through a lot of shit. She's gone through a lot of growth herself, and I've gone through some growth myself. But even then, we still not we cool, but we ain't together like that. We
Hmm.
cool with each other. So I
Hmm.
mean, everything you saying, cousin T Tall, I mean that's getting to some deep stuff because that purity, man. I mean, that we getting in the spirit and all of that. I mean, it's getting beyond that whole transactional thing, which let's be real, most relationships are transactional in a way. Most of these relationships are. Even though I can understand when I say, yeah, you can get the pussy without spending money, I can understand why a lot of guys can't understand that. But that's just a society we live in because you're talking about purity. That's another level that it's tough for the average man to even understand.
Right.
Imagine dealing with a woman and it's just pure attraction, pure love, pure where she can see you, you can see her. Man, that's on another level. That's on another level. And let's like I said, just we gotta be real in this society. We don't we overall this society don't have that. That's why there's so many problems. I mean, even when some people try to call themselves fixing relationships, it's still transactional. It's still transactional most of the time. I mean, that whole like purity thing,
Hmm.
a lot of people, I mean, nobody's really talking about this. Think about it. I can't think of anybody really talking about it. Now that I think about this some more.
Absolutely. And like I said, I was inspired to do this particular topic because it's come up in a few client consultations. And when you're coaching men on their path of mastery, a lot of details, a lot of gems, and true value loaded uh, sort of experiences come out. And that's why it's important to find a coach that has experience, to find a coach that has experience, the levels and the layers and the spaces that you look to, that you're wanting to experience. And that's because we can help you navigate, we can assist you in navigating these spaces. When a man, like I said, experiences the loss of that purity with a woman,
Hmm.
meaning that she no longer trusts him, or she
Mm,
no longer has the confidence that she had. So imagine, okay, just think about this. All right. You're an attractive guy. When a woman first sees you, what is she doing? Besides the five F's, we know about the five F's, right? Can I fuck him? Can he feed me? Can I finesse him? Can he father my kids? Or can I forget this ever happened? There's a sixth F. I always say there's a number 6F. You know what that 6F is? Can I follow him?
Mm-hmm.
And what happens? What can a man do once that sixth F is betrayed? She can no longer follow you. She can't trust your leadership. That
Mm-hmm.
that pure dynamic, because, and let's be clear, um, as players, as ladies, men, we know what it looks like when a woman is handing us the purity.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's be honest, women cannot purchase purity as well. Let me say that again. Women cannot purchase purity as well. She
No.
cannot buy your purity.
No.
Take this from a man, okay, who would on a nightly basis get paid to entertain women. All the things that the women said that they wanted to do, the places that they wanted to fly me to, the gifts that they gave, the jackets, I have a Patreon video over my Patreon that says the top 9 things or the top 10 things that gifts that I received from women while I was dancing. Okay, it's a crazy one. Once we're done with this stream, I'll link it down below. But those who are on the Patreon, you already know. I got some crazy stuff. But I say that to say this. The reason why we're having this conversation about what that thing we call purity is, the space of purity is so that you know how to recognize it when it's there.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, men who are players, men, who are ladies' men, we get offered that up front as something that a woman that's a part of submission. And that's something that a lot of guys that have conversations in these spaces don't want to admit. They don't want to talk about. Not only because it would ruin their brand, but because they don't even know what that is. Because a lot of men who complain about women, women are promiscuous, women are unfaithful, women are no good, they don't have value. They try to say like they're the table. If we want to get real funky with it, the pureness and the purity is the table.
Mm-hmm.
That space of purity,
Mm-hmm.
that's the table on both sides. That's where both people meet in the middle and expose and express their true selves. It's a space of vulnerability that allows one to see the other for who they truly are. Not only that, it allows one to reflect themselves and see themselves in the other. So if we want to be real, we want to keep it 100% funky. That space of purity is the table, because you can't build a true relationship, a lasting relationship, a dynamic relationship that flourishes into the beauty of a legacy, the beauty of a family, the beauty of a community sort of network, without having that cornerstone of purity
Yeah.
at the center.
Real talk. Real talk. Man, let me just say something real quick. I ain't know you was going this deep, man. This is real deep. I mean, because you think about it, when a man and a woman get together, right? Yeah, you can talk about their position and social class, but really they both butt naked. And then we ain't talking about just for sex. They together. What is there? What is there? What's really keeping them together? And that's all that can really have a real relationship. Not the money. What you gonna do with the money in the bedroom? You know? Or their position. What good is it that he's an attorney and she is whatever, corporate something? All that shit is bullshit. It's transactional. But when they both together, they both alone, they both naked. and not just screwing each other, but just naked. They don't have any of that stuff. That's what it come down to. And if they don't have that, they don't really have a relationship. In fact, you have the things in place that can break them up. Because what happens if someone at transactional level changes? What happens when the money changes, the social class change, something happen? See, when that happens, you don't have that purity, boom. So yeah, I mean that's powerful, really. I mean, I hope y'all respect what he's giving y'all here. There's some deep stuff here. Where y'all going to get this on YouTube? Y'all need to be blessing him, blessing me, of course, too, but definitely blessing
Absolutely.
cousin Tito.
Absolutely. Well, just a
He,
reminder, everybody hit that like button, share it. The link to the T-Talk Tabernacle, aka the Cash App, is scrolling at the bottom of your screen. We do gladly accept that, as well as any super chats. Um, Andre 420 Reform said, I haven't heard any of the game dudes speak about purity before. You're 100% right. And again, for those who are just coming in, let's understand we're not talking about purity, sexual purity, meaning that, she has zero bodies or the guy has zero bodies or anything like that.
no,
It is the purity that I speak of in my book, The Seduction Scriptures, where I talk about the POSE, or the plane of self energy, the plane of seductive energy. The most seductive element about a man or a woman is that space of purity. At the latter part of my book, I answer the question, what do women want? Of course, they want satisfaction. Of course, they want orgasms. Of course, they want appreciation and experiences that no other man can bring them. Beyond that, women want a space to be free,
oh yeah,
a space to be who they truly are.
yeah. Now that's deep. That's some real talk. Yeah, no judgment. They want to be free. Cause that's some powerful. If you want to use the term game strategy, whatever, you let a woman be free, man, you really see some stuff. That's why I can tell y'all a lot of stuff. Women been free. I don't judge them. I let them whatever they can say. They've been with 100 men. I'm just like, you gonna eat that donut right there? I was like, they look and they can feel it. I don't really care. I don't judge them for it. I don't judge who they've been with, who they are, how much money they make. You let them be free. That's powerful in itself. So that's that, and you could call that game, but it's really just that purity. It's just like, who are you? Do you and her get along? Do you and her can y'all just get take all the money out of it, the position, trying to appeal to any social norms, whatever. Just you and her, and that's all that matters. That's all that matters. That's the ultimate level of being able to connect to that other human being. Because if you don't have that, trust me, there's going to be some problems. Because I've done some transactional stuff before myself.
Mhm.
That's why I'm against it. That's why I'm saying, hey, don't spend the money. If a woman, like I meet a woman, she like, well, what you do for a living? I'm like, don't worry about it. Like even now, when I run into women or something, I don't. It's not too many unless they happen to find out from somebody else. Like I have a suspicion one woman did find out what I did. She don't say nothing to me. That's okay. I ain't trying to get with her. Somebody else was getting with her anyway. But these women have no idea what I do around here. I don't
Mhm.
be like walking around with a card saying, "Oh yeah, I'm doing some content creating." Only one even know where I even live or something. They see me around, I just be in sweats or whatever. Like my
Right.
barber, well, she's a woman, she cuts my hair. She know what I do, but even then I ain't tell her. Somebody else at the barber shop like follows me. He might be checking out this live stream. But yeah, once you get to that point, that's that pure thing. And that's the thing that you want to look for when you dealing with these women seriously. Yeah, you can pay for it. You paying for it. You can get you an acceptable hoe or something like that. But you want that purity, especially if you're looking for that real relationship. You want to deal with women on that pure level. You want to present that purity. It's like, look, this is what I'm presenting. Now, if she presents something
Mm,
else,
mm,
you don't want to deal
mhm.
with it. It was like, unless that's all you want, just recognize what you're dealing with. Don't act like this is like, this is something serious. It's like, oh yeah, I'm making all this money. I should get this woman or something like that. That's not purity. There's always
Right.
going to be a problem with it. That's the problem with a lot of relationships now. The most of them. That's why I say I need to bless cousin T Tar. He's giving y'all some real stuff here.
Absolutely. We do appreciate that. Uh, trust said, or yeah, trust said makes us more disciplined. Now, trust, if you don't mind, commenting on what part um, was mentioned that said it makes you more disciplined. I'm assuming that it said you're referring to women who are in a dynamic with certain men. Are you referring to his ability to lead? Are you referring to his ability to create the space that allows for you to become his reflection and him your reflection? One of the things that I wanted to make sure, and Rom, I don't think you mind if we take it even higher to another plane
Not
with
at
this.
all, man. Hey, dude, you know, people don't really know me because they think I'm just talking about body game. I can go real deep. So go for it. Sure, let's take them here. Y'all here? Let's give them. Hey, let's take them to that level. I
Uh,
could take that to a spiritual level. You know how deep I could go with it.
well, we want to build that up over that arc over a course of conversations, but in terms of the other side of purity, what it does once you've created that space, and this is why we want to have streams like this and have conversations like this, because this serves as a document and a lesson for men to start doing that work and developing this within yourself. Because once you have presented, as Ram said, presented that space of purity to a woman, and you get that purity from her, she is going to keep it 100 with you. You know what I
Mhm,
mean when I say that? She is going to be brutally honest with you.
mhm.
Even if she's the most, you know, conservative, quiet, you know, kept to herself, introverted person. Once you two are in that space of purity, because she is so free to be who she truly is with you, and she's comfortable and she trusts you and she has submitted to you,
Mhm.
she's not only going to let out that inner freak, okay? She is going to be brutally honest. And when it comes to, oh, you're lacking, you're slacking, you're falling off. You said we were going to do, you know, uh, um, no alcohol in January. What happened? Or we were going to start going to the gym. What happened? Now, now she's truly becoming a mirror,
Mhm.
right? Because
Yeah.
you've expressed your goals, you've expressed
Mhm.
your what inspires you, your aspirations, what it is that you hope to achieve, what you want to build. You said that you were going to work on that garage. You said that you were going to
Mhm.
work towards this promotion. You were going to get this tech certification. What happened? How can I help you do that? That's a part of that purity,
Yeah.
her showing those feminine qualities of the helpmeet, her showing the attributes of
Mhm.
the type of woman that invests in her man. That's what you
Mhm.
get when you have that space of purity.
Yeah,
You
you
see?
showing her who you really are because that's when you can really see who the woman is. Y'all in that pure space, you'll see something. You see something. She ain't holding back. She is not holding back. Cause see, the woman's nature is to enhance whatever you doing. So you give her a house, she make it a home. You give her some food, she'll make it into a meal. So, and that's her nature anyway. They multiply what a man brings. So when you have that woman, you giving her that purity and you giving her the freedom to be who she is. That's actually benefiting you. She ain't holding back because when it's more transactional, she gonna hold back. She ain't gonna show you everything. Like many women don't show, they can be married to a man, don't show them everything. You got some women, they'll go to their death without showing their husbands everything
Mm.
because they haven't opened up for them. I know some women now, they've done some things and they'll say they'll take that to their deathbed, but they haven't really opened up. They ain't really pure with that man. In fact, I mean, seriously, I've known some married women. I mean, I'm trying, I'm working harder to like get them have sex with their husbands than they are. I mean, seriously, they not, but it
See,
was a more of a transactional thing. It was more of a social thing. It wasn't pure. See, that's how powerful that purity is when y'all both open with each other. Y'all can both be with each other. Y'all can really show each other who you are. Shoot, that's when she's really open. But see, that's the thing. When you do it, when you truly open with her and she open with you seeing everything she got. Shoot, she'll take a bullet for you. She'll knife somebody for you. And then that's all. It's up to you to fuck that shit up. That's
right,
why if you do fuck it up, what you were talking about earlier, cousin T-Taw, it's tough. Once that's gone,
right.
you can't really get it back.
No.
You cannot get that back. It's the toughest thing. It's the toughest thing.
Shout out to Kenneth Young with the $2 saying great content, and we appreciate you that for from you. Confirmation here. Let's see. Trust said freedom to just be and his ability to create that space. Yes, no, absolutely. And like I said, and Rom definitely covered it very well. It doesn't matter what level, like what class level, what background,
Mhm. Yeah.
where that woman comes from. She could be a high powered corporate type, a working class woman who's on her grind, who's doing her best and contributing to her community. She could be a church woman. She could be a spiritualist woman. It doesn't matter. We're
Mhm.
talking about reaching into the essence of who a person is, where
Mhm.
their humanity, and I'm going to slow this down when I say this. We're talking about reaching into the essence of what a person truly is, that space where their humanity meets
Mhm.
their divinity. Okay.
Mm.
Where their humanity meets their divinity. Okay. And
Mhm.
so to touch back on something that I mentioned earlier, as a seducer, as a player, as like Ron says, Mr. Goodbar or a select man, women tend to hold that space out and make it available to us or men like that more readily. Do you know why? That's because when she is in the presence of a man who she believes has that capacity. Not
Mhm.
only does she find you attractive and arousing, okay, intriguing, mysterious, she's already going through different processes in her mind. Oh, what can I do? What can I do to get this man and have this
Mhm.
man and have a dynamic with this man? She's
Mhm.
already made up all of these different instances. She's having the fantasy about y'all in the bathtub together, and she's got the
Oh,
rose petals around, and
oh man. Let me
all those
say
things.
something. Hold up, man. Oh man, you going real deep because that's one of the things that women do when they see a Mr. Goodbar. They see that man. They in her mind, she's already having sex with him. She's already doing stuff. She is as soon as she see that man, cause see, most people are asleep. But
Yeah.
see, when she see that Mr. Goodbar, she see that select man, she see that ASP, that wakes her up. But then she'll go back to sleep. But then she is going through scenarios where they get together. I remember a woman I hooked up with, and to this day, to this day, I can't hear that song Rump Shaker without thinking about her. But when we were working on a job, when I finally came over, she was like, "Yeah, we finally together. We found." She said that. But see, that's that thing. Women be imagining, but see, a lot of dudes don't realize that they might have that with a woman. But see, what they'll do is they'll put themselves in position. They'll try to make that fantasy come true. All you had to do is figure out, okay, they doing that. You have to recognize it. They'll do stuff. You just have to recognize it. All right. But go
Absolutely.
ahead. Yeah, go ahead, man.
They will do things, and they will make hints. They will give hints
Mhm.
in terms of, have you ever wondered about this? Or I was thinking about this the other day, or this, something came to mind. This is depending on where you meet a woman. Okay. I'm against the workplace, but if she's exceptional, okay, only if she's exceptional. I'm also against meeting at the gym unless she is exceptional. You've got all of these other spaces. You've got outside. You've got the train
Mhm.
station. You've got the art museum. You've got, your place of worship. You've got mixers. You've got the club. You've got rooftop events. Look at all these things that we can rattle out. And that's just the beginning. We're not even talking about Halloween. Over on the Patreon, I'm going to post, and I may do halfway over here on the YouTube side. Halloween happens every week if you live in a major city. Okay.
Mm.
And I'm going to break that down why that is. But the point of all this is the reason why when a woman encounters a man who she is drawn to, a man with that magnetism, a man with that ism, who has the ability to present an offer that she can't refuse, who has the ability to be in her presence, and she starts glowing. Of course, having a transactional dynamic is the furthest thing from her mind. She's
Mhm.
trying to come up with the best way to hook him fast, hook him deep, and hook him as permanently as she can. And she
Mhm.
knows that the most valuable thing that she possesses, we got to slow it down again for this.
Mhm.
A woman knows that her box is not the most valuable thing she possesses. Rom
Mm.
already knew that. Rom knows that already. I know that your cousin knows that, most definitely. Most people who are listening to this do not know that. Well, the women know that, but most
Mhm.
men do not know that. A woman knows that her, what you say, pocketbook, her box is not the most valuable possession she has.
Mm.
The most valuable possession that a woman has is that space, that internal space of purity.
Mm. Mhm.
It's priceless. You cannot buy it because
No, you
once
can't.
you have it, once it's yours,
Mhm.
there is nothing that she won't do for you.
Yeah. When she can really be free with you, when she can really do it, that's because sex, and let's just be real, you can get sex wherever. But when a woman is truly free with you, she's really giving you that purity. Oh man, that is so powerful. That's why if you lose it, man, that's powerful too. Because like you sex is nothing. Like you always say, cousin T Tall. Sex is like a handshake. In fact, women. Well, I'm gonna tell you how the sex is. Women have sex with many men, but they leave. They'll let you do whatever with their body, but they ain't really there. They left the body. They ain't there with you. They let you
Right,
do your business or something. So
right.
how powerful is that? Seriously, you get some women out here, they can not some, really all. They can do it for a transaction. They can let you do your business. I knew this woman, she was with this guy for 11 years. Talking about, yo, yeah, I let him do my business, his business. She
Mm,
said that. She said that. She let him do his business, end up marrying another guy.
mhm,
That's not the most valuable thing, but she wasn't truly free with this guy. That was the
right,
problem. She didn't
right.
give him the purity.
right?
Yeah.
And let's be clear, gentlemen, when we talk about sex, which we do a lot, I love it. I love women. I can't, say that enough.
Mhm.
Sex is a form of communication.
Mhm.
Okay, it's a punctuation to an amazing evening. It's the garnish to an experience that you've presented to a woman that the two of you have shared and exchanged with each other. Sex is the bond. It is the confirmation.
Mhm.
It is the expansion event, depending on
Mhm.
the level uh, at which you're experiencing this with the woman. It could be as um, as simple as a handshake. Okay, it can be treated as simple as a handshake. It could be treated, as interesting as a conversation. Oh, okay. You from there? Okay, tell me something about that. You know that one spot where? Oh, okay, yeah, that spot right there. Let's get back to that spot. Keep going to that spot. Let's get to that spot. Oh, you at that spot? Oh, you at that spot? Okay, you at that spot. It's a conversation. It could be a form of invigorating activity, right? Those
Mhm.
marathon sessions, that sweat
Mhm.
hotel, the
Mhm.
intrigue. You know why? And this is just a little, digression for just a moment. We're gonna get back to the purity in a second. You know why women love sex, and
Tell us,
don't
man.
and don't let nobody lie to you and try to convince you that they do not love sex.
Yeah, tell us, man. Break it down, man.
And it has to do with the emotions that stir up when they have good sex.
Mhm.
Okay, when women have good sex, there is something that happens internally,
Mhm.
mentally, in their spirit, in their emotions, and in their emotional body. All right,
Mhm.
for those who are familiar with that science, women love sex.
Yeah.
Women love good sex. Women love amazing sex
Mhm.
because it gives them the most valuable feeling out of all of their emotions. You know what that is? The most valuable feeling that a woman can feel is alive.
Mm.
When you
Mhm.
are capable of bringing her the feeling of being alive, you can get that paycheck. You can get that tax return. You can get the keys to the car. You can get
Mhm.
that bed to sleep on. You don't even got to sleep on the couch.
Yeah.
You can get in that back door when JoJo goes to work. You
Yeah.
can get flued out. You can get the new pair of J's. You can get those products. You can get all of the things that are worth less than that feeling that you're capable of bringing her. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's just the experience of sex. We're not even
Mhm.
taking it to that space of purity. So let's go
Yeah.
back there. Let's go back
Okay.
to the space of purity. Okay. Beyond the sex, because sex is simply an introduction.
Yeah.
Okay. When you are able to tap in and create and hold space for that purity, now you have this opportunity. Not
Mhm.
only do you have the opportunity for the reflection, being each other's mirror,
Mhm.
but you have the opportunity to expand. Okay.
Mhm.
You can expand that space.
Yeah.
And that's really what the maturing process should be, ideally.
Mhm.
When you
Well.
discover someone that you have the potential to hold that space with, and you
Mhm.
do commit yourself to this person, be it monogamously, be it in a polyamorous, a polycule, ethical non-monogamous situation, you have the opportunity to experience expansion.
There you
Okay.
go.
And that is
Preach.
ideal for community building. That is ideal for bringing in family members, even non-genetic family members. Okay, you don't even have to be blood relatives, but you have this expansion because her friends notice it in her. Her
Oh yeah.
friends
Oh, phew.
know. Her friends know when
Yeah.
she has arrived at that space of purity.
Mm-hmm.
She can't stop talking about it. She can't
Yeah.
stop making plans. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
there's so many benefits from you holding that space open of purity for her. But let's understand,
Mm-hmm.
you have to be able to develop that within yourself
Yeah.
first.
Yes.
You have to be able to acknowledge that it exists first, meaning
Mm-hmm.
that you have to do that internal work. You have to develop your path of masculine mastery. You have to sit with a mentor. You have to sit with a coach. You have to have these conversations with mature men and experienced men who can point you in that direction. Because
Preach.
if you have resentment, if you have these preconceived notions about uh, who and what and how and why women are, if you think that they're the enemy, if you
Mm-hmm.
don't trust yourself, if
Mm-hmm.
you are self-defeating, if you are
Yes.
self-destructive, if you are all of the things you receive, you take in this negative information, you take in negative energy, you think that the world is ending, you think that there won't be an economy anymore, you think that I have to flee to these places, I have to take shelter here, I got to go underground because this is happening. You are not going to be able to tap into that space of purity, because what would be the point of doing that in the first place?
Preach. 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 Hey, play that ASP. There you go. There you
So what
go.
would be the point? So so before we can even pursue that space of purity in another person, in a woman that
Mm-hmm.
we desire to acquire an exchange with, a dynamic with, a relationship with, we have to
Mm-hmm.
look inward and discover that space of purity within ourselves. I know, and Ram, you can let me know as well. I've worked with veterans. Now they've seen some things.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They've
Yeah.
experienced some things. They've experienced the ugliness that the human potential has, and
Mm-hmm.
they've come back on the other side. That's a
Mm-hmm.
special level
Yeah.
of horror, of
Yeah.
uh, uh, disembodied work.
Mm-hmm.
And fortunately, there are services that are available to help counsel them through and bring them back and reintegrate them into society. And I'm using this as as an extreme example, but compare that to the average man who has the average job, who has the average lifestyle activities: go to work, go to the bar, maybe shoot pool, maybe bowl, play video games. That's a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Online a lot. Depending on what you consume,
Mm-hmm.
you may not even have space within yourself reserved for your pureness,
Mm-hmm.
right? So how would you be able to recognize that and or cultivate a space for a woman's purity, let alone be able to hold space for the purity within the two of you to exist, to
Mm-hmm.
develop, to flourish, to the
Mm-hmm.
point where you become each other's mirrors, to the point
Mm-hmm.
where she sees you and you
Mm-hmm.
see her. And because we got a little time.
Yeah.
Here's another point. Okay. Here's another point while everybody gets the likes up. Also, don't forget to holler at the T-Talk Tabernacle. Is at the bottom of your screen, a Cash App. And, feel free to throw a little bit in the collection plate via the super chat if you feel so inclined. But getting into this next point, when we talk about pretty young things, Ron, Oh, oh, and you and I have shared many stories about PYTs.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
When we talk about men who enjoy the company, who enjoy dynamics, who enjoy that exchange of his mature masculine energy for her vibrant, brilliant, radiant feminine energy.
mm-hmm,
She don't know so much, Ron. That
mm-hmm,
PYT don't know. She know just enough. She know just enough to wear the right sundress,
yeah,
to get the right angle for
mm-hmm,
her Instagram. She knows just enough,
yeah,
and she may not have recognized her space of purity. Now, for all those within the sound of my voice, this is an opportunity for you, gentlemen. This is a wonderful opportunity because if you have um, been subscribed to my YouTube and or my Patreon, you are familiar with how I explain to men how you are to manage a PYT.
mm-hmm,
You see, you manage a PYT with your experience, with
mm-hmm,
your masculine energy, with the experiences that you're capable of bringing her.
yeah,
You have the ability to show her something that she had never seen before.
yeah, yeah.
You have a
What?
masculine. Go ahead.
Let me just say this real quick. It's not an accident that you get some of these young women, they will go for an older man, but it's only certain older men. Now you see me with this gray and stuff on, but I
Silver
be getting a
Fox.
lot. I be getting a lot of like young women, like looking, being real friendly and stuff, little extra friendly, because they can feel that energy from me. I'm not hitting them on that transactional thing. When I'm dealing with them, they can feel the purity, even if they don't, even if they can't quite articulate why they feel in that energy. But they want that from a man. Yeah, yeah, you get some young women, they might get that guy who's on that transactional thing. But you can, if you get an older guy, you just generating that purity as to your best extent, that energy, those young women will want it even if they don't really understand why they want it, but they
Right.
understand it on a deeper level. See, what you're talking about here, you going on a deeper level, even though, you get plenty of guys talking about some game is usually transactional to an extent. Even some of the stuff I'll talk about, because I'll talk about class and all of that, but you at a higher level of just dealing with somebody. They seeing your spirit. And that's the power right there. In fact, that's part of how what I always say. I say a man make love to a woman's body, but a woman make love to a man's mind. See, a woman deep down is looking for that spirit. Understand that, fellas. Understand that. In fact, I think we had a lady who was commenting a few times. She probably already understand that. In fact, she's probably drawn for that reason, that purity. So that's why I'm saying. That's why I'm like being quiet. I'm just letting cousin T talk. He giving y'all something on that higher level, as brother Tristan would say, that God level game. It's
Absolutely.
powerful, y'all. It's
Abs-
powerful.
and
Because when
so
you have that, let me finish
yeah.
this. You
Oh, go
have
get it.
that, you ain't even worried about how beautiful that woman is, or man, she could be on that very beautiful thing, but she looking for that purity too. All these women are looking for it, even if they can't articulate it. But if you can provide it, they looking for it. Let's put it like this. Don't even think about it as purity. All these women looking to be free. Take them
Mm,
out of all. Take all that stuff away. Take the beauty away. Take how much money they can make. Their social class away. Subculture, even racial background. All that stuff. And you talking about just pure spirit. All women are looking for that, especially in a man. And if a man can just generate that energy, get that vibe off, and a woman will feel it even if she can't articulate it. She can understand that. Yeah, this is beyond the shadow world. Yeah, 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 it is. It really is. But go ahead, cousin T. I'm just listening. Shoot, I'm learning stuff. I'm like, I ain't know you were going this deep.
Listen,
Shoot.
and what's crazy is you touched upon right where I was going when we talk about mentoring and managing
Mhm,
a PYT, that dynamic. We're
mhm,
just using this as an example, gentlemen. You can apply this to any type of woman that you are looking for in order to have a wonderful exchange of experiences, a wonderful exchange of intimacy, orgasms, relationship dynamics, whatever. But I'm focusing on the PYT because we're talking about beauty right now. Ron mentioned beauty, okay, and let's be clear. When we are mentoring a PYT, a pretty young thing, she's not only drawn to our mature masculine energy, the fact that she knows that she doesn't know much, and you have the ability to put her up on game,
mhm,
your mouthpiece, your ism, the presentation that you have available to her is so valuable. That wisdom. This is a part of that wisdom.
mhm,
And this part right here is where we really have to be thoughtful,
mhm.
because this is where if it falls into the wrong hands, okay, you know, it, he can go either way. But like, let's do it. When you're uh, mentoring a PYT and you're involved in that particular dynamic, the average man is going to default to, oh, what can I buy you? Or what kind of
Yeah,
shoes do you like?
y-
Well,
yeah.
what kind of purse? And now let me be clear. I literally had a series of conversations with a PYT recently. She's 20 years old. I think she just turned 21. Okay. She knows who she is if she watching. Hey, 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 hey. So, holler at me when I see you. But over the course of a couple of conversations, I was able to educate her about aspects of her that she never knew existed.
Mhm,
I was able to give her language for feelings that she never knew could be spoken upon.
mhm,
And that all had to do with that space of purity.
mhm.
You see, young women are used to being called beautiful.
Yes.
Oh, you so fine.
Yeah.
I want to drink your bath water.
Yeah.
Okay, you so this, you're so that. They're used to getting clicks and likes. They're used to getting shared. They're used to,
Transactions. Transactions.
OnlyFans off the chain.
Yeah.
However, what they are not used to is to having a man look at them and into them, and not
Mm,
only be able to look into them, but to bring out something that is within them, something specific that's within them from that space of purity,
mhm.
and then show her, hey, this is you.
Yes.
This is what your beauty is. Well,
Yes,
I
exactly.
showed that to her and she like to fell out. She's like, okay, where we going? Where we going?
Well, see, and that's the powerful thing. See, a lot of men don't understand that. Let's just be real. Like we've been saying, a lot of guys are really transactional. They see that beautiful woman, they thinking about what they can buy her or whatever, how many clicks they can give her, or even telling her how beautiful she is when, she already have an idea about that. But when you can really see her, like, and I've said this before when dealing with beautiful women, it was like, forget that they beautiful, forget their genetics. What can you see as to who they really are? Because I've known some very beautiful women, but I wouldn't even focus on their beauty. I focus on who they are, what they interested in. And there was several who just like being around me, even to this day. Even to this day, people don't realize how many younger women I actually deal with, actually have in my life. How many I've dealt with. And I'll be 61 in a few days. But in my late 50s and stuff, getting these women in their 20s and stuff being real friendly, looking like they can feel something, because I ain't looking at them for a transaction or what can I buy them or something. I'm looking at them for who they are. And I'm saying, looking for that purity, even if I didn't articulate it myself. I'm looking for who they are, their spirit. Remember that. Because that's what Cousin Tita is telling y'all. I mean, if you want to call this game, I don't even know that's the proper word for it. I mean, you really hitting woman on a different level. And see, that's why you get those pretty young things. They'll go for an older guy who got that energy. Unfortunately, a lot of most older guys be trying to like buy them or doing something trying to control them. It's transactional. Like we've been saying, that transactional thing is too much a part of relationships one way or the other. You know, and
Absolutely. And
yeah,
and so
like go ahead.
so the thing that most men, because I want to bring this the PYT example full circle. The thing that most men seek in a younger woman or PYT is not only her the brilliance and the radiance of her youth, not only her aesthetic beauty, the tightness of the skin, the the corner of her mouth as she smiles upward, right?
Hmm.
The nape of her neck, the beauty of her clavicle as it transitions into other aspects of her skin and her body and her musculature and everything that she does, especially if she played a sport. We ain't even gonna get into the gymnast, okay? But that one thing that a lot of men tend to be drawn to that they don't necessarily articulate is her innocence,
Mm,
right? The innocence of a PYT is something
mm,
that most men, I'm talking about 18 to 88, are drawn to. You know how women are drawn to our masculine energy, our masculine essence, our prowess, how we
mm,
present, how we look in our shirts, how we how we stand, how we walk. That sense that cannot be thought of. But of course, it's Enchanté by Scorpio, the ASP Holy Ghost. But those aspects of our masculinity that draw women to us, most men are drawn to the innocence of a woman. Right? Isn't that what a lot of spaces say that is missing, or that you can't find in the West, that you have to go somewhere else to seek? Let me be clear about this. Let me be clear about this. The purity is what women guard ferociously. And that is because, despite whatever the circumstances may have been in their lives, good, bad, ugly, other, that purity is their innocence. That's
mm,
why, that's why when it is betrayed, she will never forgive you. You can never get back there. That mirror
mm,
is fractured, and you're only seeing a composite of what you used to see, if she allows you to see it, to return to that space at all. And I
mm,
say that to say that with the example of the PYT, there is great value that a man who understands this dynamic can present to that young woman,
mhm,
because she is not only seeking mentorship, she's seeking domain knowledge. Maybe you guys work with each other, and she's looking for some type of leadership and direction, and understanding as to how she can be sure-footed in her ascension in that space. Or maybe that you just met each other, you share a yoga class, or you share an interest, an art
mhm,
appreciation course, you share love for the same music, so you see each other at a club. Something that gets you two in the same space at the same time.
Mhm.
Before you think about leading with your wallet, before
Mhm.
you think about leading with your 401k, before you think about leading with your Jaguar, Bentley, Mercedes Benz, or whatever, your Bugatti keys, think about leading with what you know about her that she doesn't even know about her.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's powerful. That is powerful. And unfortunately, most guys gonna lead with their money. So
And listen, I'm not admonishing men who do that. You're simply reacting. Okay. Let me be clear. Let me be very clear. Women, when they see a man that they desire, they lead with their money.
Mhm.
Who you talking to? Like, trust me. Women will be like, "Oh man, what can I do for him? What can I do?" But this is why, if you're the type of man that a lot of women find attractive, you're going to get that space of purity offered to you very quickly. And so
Yeah.
you have to learn discernment. You have to be able to discern that, okay, this is not the type of woman that I want to take advantage of that space of purity. Yes, she's offering that to me. Yes, it's tempting because I would love to have a woman submit to me and be able to be at my whim and beck and call and ride or die for me or things like that. But if she is not the type of person that you at least want to put on your roster in a position, okay, in your life. If you're just looking to have a night of an intimate exchange with her, be upfront about that. Communicate
Mm,
that to her. That's why we encourage working on your mouthpiece, working
mm,
on your ability to communicate your intent.
mhm.
Always be working on that and developing that so that you can clearly communicate every step of this interaction so
Yeah.
that everybody's in the best position to win.
Yes.
And so at
Yes.
the end of the day, when we talk about the value of purity and
Yes.
why you cannot pay for it,
Mhm.
you always, always, always have to remember and keep in mind that you not only have to discover it within yourself, because that space of purity looks like you, because it
Yeah.
is you.
Yes.
So you can't have there's no generic sort of uh, prototype for that
Mhm.
space of purity. You see,
Mhm.
you have to have discovered that and nurtured that and developed that internally within yourself, because
Mhm.
now that becomes a part of your presentation.
Mm.
Part of
Mm.
your purity is
Mhm.
part of your presentation, not just your outfit, not just your shoes that Rom
Mhm.
always says she gonna want to bust it down for, not just
Yeah.
your scent, not just your lifestyle properties, not just your career. Your purity is part of
Mhm.
your presentation. That's why women know when she's in the presence of an alpha. She knows when she's in the presence of a
Yes.
beta. She knows when she's in the presence of a role player. Okay.
Yeah.
Because women are sensitive to energy. They are sensitive to vibration and they search and they seek divinity, that which is in that space of purity.
Yes. And let me add this, because this is something that I've seen. Because as you know, a couple years ago, I had that medical emergency. I had that stroke. And I've noticed women have responded to me differently because, there was a point I had to use a walker, cane, couldn't eat, but I was at my most pure. I was getting the most attention from women because I wasn't thinking about, oh, yeah, I got this, I got that, or something. I was at my most pure. Women were feeling that. Women were feeling that. I mean, I didn't have the same terminology that cousin T-Tar had, but I understand it now. I was like, wow, I can barely walk and I'm doing all this. I'm getting these women like crazy, but they were seeing me at my most pure. I wasn't thinking about, oh, I gotta walk like this or do all this. Shoot, like I said, it took me a couple months to walk well again. I couldn't eat, couldn't do all of that, but they were feeling the pure energy and they were still showing some interest. They were still like, what can we do for you? What can we get you something? Whatever. They were feeling me at my most pure, including my co-parent. I mean, like I said, she was real helpful. She was real helpful. And we somebody had broken up. So it was like, hold up, wait a minute. That's how
Mhm.
powerful it is. That's why y'all need to bless the cousin T Tar Tabernacle. He's giving y'all a powerful thing. Yeah.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just reading something here. Somebody say where to be a select man. I tell you what, man, really go back and listen to everything we talked about because we really going beyond that. You
Right.
might just be getting here, but we going way beyond that. That might be another show. I mean, respectfully, man, or hit me up privately. But we talking at another level because a man, he could be select but still transactional. When we talking about this purity, this goes beyond even being select. This is some powerful stuff. This is some powerful stuff, you
Yes,
know?
indeed. Yes, indeed. And uh,
Yeah.
part of the reason why we want to make sure that the men and women and whomever are within the sound of this particular discussion is so that you can start to look internally and recognize that space for yourself.
Mhm.
Because ultimately, the more people who are aware of this will lead to more people who develop that within themselves. The
Mhm.
results definitely speak for themselves. You're
Yeah,
better at relating.
yes.
You're more approachable. You're able to um, have better connections and more meaningful connections. But at the same time, you're better able to discern when it's not the right fit.
Yes.
Because
That's
just
very
because
important.
everybody has this potential, everybody has this space within them, does
Mhm.
not mean that that's the right fit for everyone. Is
Mhm.
not everybody is the right fit for everyone else. And because we're all still refining ourselves, we're still developing, we're at various stages of development on both sides, the
Mhm.
masculine and the feminine. But the point of this is to, once again, like I said, be able to recognize that within yourself, be able to develop it and communicate that to the type of woman that you desire to acquire that particular type of dynamic with. And
Mhm.
like I said, instead of paying for purity or attempting to pay for purity, which you can't
Yeah.
do,
No,
you cannot pay
you
for it.
you you can't because really they just on two different levels because what you were telling this go beyond even what I talk about being select. A lot of select men, they can deal with that transactional stuff. A lot of them with it. Even some of the guys I would consider Mr. Goodbar, there's still a level of transaction there. Maybe not with money, but time, class, stuff like that. All that. But when you talking purity, that's just pure spirit, man. That goes beyond all of this stuff. All these things, what religion, everything. It's your spirits coming together. It's your spirits coming together.
Correct.
So
And you don't have to be a religious person necessarily to
yeah,
appreciate this. We are just
yeah,
talking about the human spirit. We are talking about
yeah.
the frequency, because when we define spirit, well, how I define spirit is frequency. When you two are vibrating at the same energy
Oh,
level and the
mhm.
same space at the same time, that's when beauty happens. That's when the magic happens. That's when you have a true, even exchange of
Yes,
intimacy, even exchange of excitement, of experiences. And that's when people truly win.
yes. Yes, because like we said, right now, the overwhelming majority of relationships, even with select men, are really more transactional. I mean, we it's hard to get past that. I mean, because even the stuff I do when I'm doing car rom or something, I'm really just hitting you at the beginning level, and a lot of people still can't get past that. What Cousin T Tall did now was take out to just a whole other level, and it's powerful. Having experience, I ain't had the terms for it. I'm just listening. I'm listening. I'm learning some stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, now I'm understanding. I'm understanding. Like I mentioned, getting more attention after having my medical emergency from some very attractive women, but at the same time I wasn't thinking, oh yeah, I'm this content creator, that can be transactional, or I'm this or that, or even body game, any of that stuff. I'm just pure as to who I am. I'm just pure. And so that's the power right there. But you can't pay for it. That's the main thing too. You can't pay for it, you know? It's
Right.
there. It's there within you. It don't have to do with money. It don't have to do shoot, even with your physical appearance, really. You don't have to
Right.
deal with that. It's just pure. Y'all both see each other. Yeah, because most of us going through this world, we wearing a mask. See, that's
Correct.
purity too. You showing your true self to this person. You showing your true self to this person. Cause I remember I was dealing with a woman, and I got to see past her mask, but you see her mask, she that big tough woman. But I saw past her mask, that wasn't it, but she felt free in my presence, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, it's powerful. The purity is powerful, but you can't pay for it. You can't buy it. No, in fact, you don't even need money to get it. That's how powerful it is. You don't even need money. You don't need to work
Correct.
on anything, but you gotta let go of all of that stuff. Like I said, I got a lot of attention from some women, and I wasn't even. I'm just trying to heal from my medical emergency, but I was getting all this attention because it was just pure. I wasn't trying to be transactional. Shoot, I'm just thinking about just getting better on myself. But then I'm just showing women, and they seeing who I really am. They smiling and stuff. So
Absolutely. And just to wrap it up, we try to. I think we're gonna try to keep it within 2 hours, but when it get good, we got to keep it going. Um, on the other side of it, if you're unfortunate, or fortunately enough, depending on your perspective, if you so happen to be in a situation where that purity is lost,
hmm
where the mirror is broken, is
hmm
shattered, where she has lost trust in you, and or
hmm
the other way around, it does happen that way. On the other side of it, you have to remember that you can never return to that space. However, you have to be mature enough as a man and or woman to recognize what you did have. So the next
hmm
time when it comes up, you treat it with the reverence and as the value that it is. You have to treat it with the care and the nurturing, right? And the work that it takes. Because just as much as it takes work to nurture it within yourself, self care, taking time to yourself, scheduling time to recover, to recuperate, to read,
hmm
to relax, to rest. You have to do that for your significant other.
hmm
Schedule time with them so that you can nurture that space of purity and
hmm
and keeping that channel open for
hmm
that dynamic to exist and to thrive and to flourish into that expansive uh, you know uh, beauty that it has the potential of. So again, if you have found yourself on the other side of it, of course, you're going to mourn the loss. You're going to lick your wounds. You're going to reflect over it, but take away the value in that lesson. take away the value in that, in having experienced that space of purity, and
Mm-hmm.
just recognize and enjoy the memories that you've had, because on the other side of it, and at the end of the day, that's all we have. That's
Mm-hmm.
really all we take with us are the memories of these
Mm-hmm.
things. And that's another reason why we enjoy the work that we do. We enjoy being coaches, we enjoy being mentors, but we enjoy being players. We enjoy being masculine men, technicians, the type of men who enjoy the company of women, who enjoy these experiences, who enjoy getting the best out of it. Could you imagine, real quick? Could you imagine? And we'll get to this question in a sec. Could you imagine, from the conversation that Ram and I have had this evening, taking away an understanding of what that purity is? Could you imagine being offered that from every woman that you encounter?
Mm. Oh, that's
It's
powerful.
it's a buffet.
Oh yeah, it's powerful.
And the reason why I position it as a buffet is because you're literally feeding each other. That's soul
Mm-hmm.
food right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
soul food right there. I'm gonna
Oh
say it one more
man.
time because it needs to ring. That's soul food.
Oh
That's
yeah.
soul food right there. Okay, so the question that says, let's
I
say,
remember this brother. Yeah.
library card holder, uh, brother
Yeah.
Rom, you remember the Love Lounge in
Oh
DC?
yeah. That
You
was some
still
power.
on the front line.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember you too, man. You got some stories, bro. I remember you though. Yeah.
There we go. So before we wrap up, Rom, any final thoughts?
Well, I would just say this. I would tell everybody to really go through and learn and think about what we're saying. Cousin Tita gave some powerful, powerful knowledge. Even though, we say the word game means the strategy or something, this goes beyond game. This is some powerful stuff. This is stuff I didn't have a term for it before, and now I didn't have a term for it. I was like, oh, okay, that's what I was doing. Trust me, I've seen it work. I've seen it work. And really, the more you can tap into your own purity, the more powerful you become. Like you trying to, like the fellas, you trying to attract those ladies, the more you can tap into your own purity. Not even trying to get into hers, but your own purity. You get the ladies, because what they always say, if you got 20 women coming for you, the only thing that they have in common is you. So that's the thing. That's the thing. But you got to tap into your own purity. You got to get off of that transactional thing. You got to get off of that thing, oh, I got to pay for it, or, I got to leave with my wallet or something. You know, you got to think to yourself, wait a minute, what am I giving? What do I have? You got to build yourself up. That's why you got some people out here, you got some millionaires, they having trouble getting women. They having trouble getting companionship, yet you got some so-called homosexuals out here. You got some homeless people. You got some guys, they drawing the women to them, not spending any money, sleeping on the air mattress. I know all about that. I know all about that.
Right.
So, you got to really think this is some powerful stuff. Cousin Tito provided the power. This is real power. This go beyond anything that you really hearing on a regular basis on YouTube. Nobody's talking about this. In fact, if I hear some content creators starting to talk about it, I say, yeah, they were watching this on the low.
Oh,
But they
absolutely.
still, but even then, they still probably don't understand it, because just the world we live in, one way or the other, is still transactional.
Right.
So
And
really study this, study this. That's why when there was a young man asking about select, I was like, this ain't the place, because this is going way beyond even select. Because even in my book, Nice Guys and Players, I say you want to go beyond select to become a real man. But that's really getting into that purity. I just use a different term because if you really look at the select and non-select, that's artificial, you know?
Externally, yeah, the surface.
Yeah. Yeah, that's artificial. That's really you want to go beyond that. You want to even go beyond being Mr. Goodbar. That's cool, but you want to go beyond that too. But all those are transactional. When you have that purity, when you giving that pure energy, that's where the power is. But developing yourself, and then the women they'll just come to you. You don't have to find it in the women. They'll open up. They'll feel free with you. When you free yourself, when you're not putting anything into what you got, when you free yourself, and it's tough in this world, you can the women, they gonna open up with you. Whether you like it or not, they be probably coming up to you, telling you everything. You trying to figure out why. That's because they see that purity in you. All you have to do is recognize it and don't judge them, no matter what they say. They might tell you some deep stuff. You might be like, girl, we got to go to that therapist or something. But
Mm,
that's what happens when you got that purity within yourself. You opening them up. And you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything to like even force it in them. They just gonna open up. They gonna feel free. Even if they don't have a word to use for it, they're gonna feel free. But fellas, look for it within yourself. And I think we had a couple ladies on here. They already know. They're already looking. That's probably why they were even like showing up.
Hey, listen, that vibration is magnetic. But absolutely, Ram. And to what you said, if we hear it, when we hear it in different spaces, because we want everybody who is listening to this particular conversation to share it, to carry forward the conversation, so that the language can be pushed throughout the various spaces and spheres. And shout out to Icebergs 1230 says salute Grandmaster Goodbye, Ron Wills, and cousin Tita. We do appreciate that. Hold on, we got that round of applause for you. Absolutely, like I said, we're constantly working on, but continue to progress the show into what its potential is. But as always, thank you so much to the field general Ron Wills for his
Thank
words
you,
of
man.
wisdom and showing up
This your show,
for
man.
his.
This your show, man. Nah, man, you were giving some powerful stuff, man. Hey, man, I'm just nodding, man. That's all. I'm just here to nod, co-sign you and stuff. This your show, man. Seriously, because you went deeper. Yeah, I knew you were going to go deep because I know how deep you can really go. But I was like, oh man, he's gone there. But hey, Spirit, man, Spirit just say, hold up, don't hold back with them. Let them know what's up.
So yeah,
Because too
sometimes we
many
try to hold
people,
back, but yeah, sometimes we can't. We gotta
you
flow
just
with it.
got you just gotta go with it, man. Like I said, you helped me out, you gave me a perspective on something, gave me words for something I didn't recognize. So,
Always a great thing we can do that. Certainly. Thank you to the chat. Thanks to all of your generosity. We appreciate that. We look forward to more participation going forward because we do definitely have some surprises coming up in the weeks to come. But as always, we want to say this is Rom Wills. You know where to find him. Holler at his Patreon, holler at his channel, holler at his links in his website. You already know who I am. I'm your baby mama's favorite cousin, Cousin Tito. And as always, this is the Alpha Wingman saying, stay sharp and mission focused. Later.
peace, y'all. Peace.